The transition to assisted living or long-term nursing care can be a little bit awkward. It can be expensive. Don't go broke in a nursing home. That's what they do. They're the only ones to do it. They do it best. Elder Advisors. Larry Weiss is with me along with Steve Langdon, and they're going to talk about freeworkshop.com, why you should go there. It's good information, and the news is good. So it's time for the Larry and Steve show once again. Yeah. Larry, Steve, welcome back to the show here. Okay. In a nutshell, I tried to explain it, but Larry, I know it's much more complex than what I just said. Tell us what Elder Advisors does.
John, in a nutshell, what families do is they help people transition their loved ones from their homes to home health care and assisted living using financial and legal strategies so they don't go broke in a nursing home, most certainly in the context if they have to go to a long-term care nursing home. That's never a good thing because, unfortunately, people out in the community are operating under the guise of it's too late. Barbershop law, beauty shop law says you should have done it more than 5 years ago. My uncle's brother's second cousin, twice removed, did this, they did that. It's never correct. It's always wrong, and it's a train wreck. The reality is, for a husband and wife, we can protect all of the assets. In Kentucky, and it's worth repeating, we can protect all of the assets for husband and wife. For a single, was that good with the camera shot?
Yeah, no, it was really
good. Tammy said it was very dramatic. Thank you, Tammy. It was. So, John, you need to focus, okay? I'm trying not to tell you how to do your job. Focus, John. It's live television. Kentucky expects more from you, John Ramsey.
Don't go broke at a nursing home and learn how to host a show via Larry Weiss, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so these freeworkshop.com. Critical information. Steve Langdon, you're a big part of this because you're the attorney side of it, the legal side. Yeah. And you always remind me, and I think it's correct to do that, is that it's good news, right? For people who have been apprehensive about this and a little afraid, it's good news, right?
It's always good news. You know, you get a chance to come in, have a little bit of fun, get a chance to sit down and ask questions. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. And you get a chance to ask those questions that you've been hesitant to bring up, or that you got some information from your neighbor or maybe an attorney down the street that does general practice, and you just want to find out what's the truth. What can I do? Is there anything that can be done? There's always something that can be done every time, and it's always good news. We can save your money.
All right. Larry, yeah, I want to talk about what kind of information they will learn because we talk about the legal side. A little later on, we're going to have Jeff Hurst on, and we'll talk about real estate and that kind of thing. But what will they learn at freeworkshop.com when they attend a workshop?
Well, and that's what I was saying a moment ago, John, was for husband and wife, we can protect all the assets. For a single person, we can protect about half of the assets. Even if someone's in a nursing home right now, we can do that. So it is good news. So people need to forget about what their friends are telling them. It's almost always wrong. It is well-intentioned. But the other part of that is for that to work, we almost always need to have the right attorney to help families do that. Because at the workshops, which we're having next Monday night, and attendance every month now is kind of incrementally increasing. But I will tell you, the people that are showing up, they're serious. They're real. They're burning through $8,000, $9,000 a month. They need help. They'll put on the mask. They'll use a hand sanitizer. They'll sit down because they're burning through cash, and there's no one else out there to help them do that. So they don't have to go broke in a nursing home. But when we do that, we need the skill set of the attorney. So I tell people at the workshops, and there's some stock footage back before the world ended. So we do, practice the social distancing and everything now, but we tell families that for husband and wife, we can protect all the assets. For a single person, about half. Well, I kind of just make it a very flip statement, but the reality is there's an incredible amount of work that has to work for that to be successful, and that's where we need Steve Langdon, our elder law superstar attorney, Steve Langdon, because it is not easy to do that. And Steve has just come off, I have official permission, he's come off a tremendous legal victory in the state of Indiana, and it's worth Steve kind of talking about a little bit for the viewers of Kentuckiana, because if you're going to do this and try to protect a lifetime of assets, do you want someone that, yes, is an attorney that never leaves the law office, that is not aggressive with the state because the state is always predisposed to deny an application, or do you want an attorney that was formerly in a prosecutor's office, that argues in federal and state court both sides of the river? And those are the chops of Steve Langdon. So, Steve, impart with the wisdom and the people of Kentuckiana what you brought to the table for this huge legal victory that Church Langdon, Loppin Bennett, Steve Langdon brought to the table.
Well, it is. I mean, there's a lot of work to be done when we're working with these families. What I tend to find is that the state doesn't always want to follow their own rules. Whether you're in Kentucky or you're in Indiana, the state doesn't always want to follow their own rules. So oftentimes we have to hold them to task. In this case, it was a great couple over in Indiana who just needed some help. And in this case, we were able to preserve the husband was actually in the facility able to preserve his 401k, which was a sizable amount. So he was able to get the benefits he needs, plus transfer that 401k so it stayed with the family. He did not have to go broke in the nursing home, and his wife got all the help that she needed. Now, I had to take this up to the Court of Appeals to make sure it happened over in Indiana. We've won that. We're going to make the state of Indiana follow their own rules, and by doing that, we're going to preserve their assets and preserve your assets.
But for the benefit of the people in TV land who are not attorneys, like yours truly, Larry Weiss, what was that, Tammy? Tammy said, I'm too beautiful to be an attorney. Thank you, Tammy.
Is that
I
right?
love you. She's a great producer, by the way.
Okay,
thank you, Tammy. But just real quickly, Steve, for the benefit of what people don't understand, what did you have to go through? How many different appeals and hearings and crap did you have to go through to get there? And no one else would do this.
Yeah, we went through 2 administrative law judge hearings, won both of them. They appealed that up to the local courts over in Indiana, in Clark County. And had to deal with that, and then we took it up to the Court of Appeals, won that. They filed another request for the Court of Appeals, essentially for a do-over. We won that again.
Because the court smacked them down and said, no, we're not going to hear it again.
Absolutely smacked them down. They have to follow the rules. I've heard a lot of elder law attorneys be proud of the fact that they don't do appeals. They don't do ALJ hearings. They don't go to the courts. They don't file in the Court of Appeals.
Right.
That's a mistake, in my opinion. That's just an absolute mistake, because you're not going to be able to save the life savings unless you're willing to fight for it. You've got to fight for it.
Right.
It's not easy, but that's what we do, and we get it done.
You need the expertise
Kudos
of elder
to
advisors.
Steve Langdon.
Yes.
Church Langdon Loppin Bannock.
Congratulations
Superstar
to
elder
you.
law attorney. Steve Langdon is in the house, Kentuckiana.
Congratulations to you, Steve. All right, coming up, we'll tell you more reasons why you should attend freeworkshop.com again, and that is the Monday, which is October 5th, and then Tuesday, October 6th. We'll give you more information. It's good news, folks. Elder advisors, don't go broke in a nursing home. We'll be back.